Huh. Hey guys, welcome back. Or should I say, uh, hello for the first time, I suppose. I don't know. This is the continuation of the roulette crawl, which I recently posted. Reason wise, because after Roulette is done, if you haven't been, I guess, caught up, in about a week I'm leaving for a holiday for a short while. So I've been in the middle of recording backlogs and stuff, and really I just don't have time to well, I do have time, but I don't have the, I guess, mental capacity to formulate all these things, all these other series that I was thinking about, and get it all planned. So I decided just for the next 7 days or so, I'll probably start recording just a roulette crawl to keep the days up. And once that all settles down, once my backlog's cleared, I'll start on the other ones. I may actually record some different stuff and upload that day to day. I'm not sure. But yeah, at least for now, today, I want to get started on just doing a roulette crawl because honestly, I feel like this should be my main series. It should just be something that I just do for fun, really, and I should be happy to die in pretty much. Well, I should never be happy to die, but yeah. All right, so let's get started, shall we? Vampire monk. Let me think. I don't know what the. Do I have a vampire done already? No, I haven't. I do have a troll monk on though, so I don't want to play a monk. Deep Elf Earth Elementalist, I've done both. Vampire Enchanter, I've done Enchanter. Merfolk Venom Mage, that seems okay, I guess, but I don't really want to play a Merfolk. Just because I feel like I want to play. I really do want to give Merfolk a try, but not as a mage. Draconian Transmuter. Yeah, I haven't done that before. Let's do it. Why not? So let's see. In the early game, you just want to play as an unarmed combat guy, and then later on, you can go and play as transmutation, as a transmuter, I suppose, using transmutations. So for most of the early parts of the game, I'll just be training unarmed combat. Once I start feeling solid, I'll train fighting and transmutations at roughly the same pace. Yeah, so the cool thing about Draconians is that they get a breath weapon at, I think, XL7. The bad thing about them is that they can't wear body armor, um, which is kind of bad, really. I'm actually at quite low health. Let's see. Alright. If I just get into this corridor, I guess. Toss this throwing net. Nope, didn't work, but I still one-shot him anyway. Alright. Well, that's how early game RNG works. You either one-shot or you get killed. It's unfortunate, but that's how it works. Let's toss some rocks at this kobold. I was gonna upgrade to Trunk. I did say I would do that, I think, at the end of the last video, but gonna keep it until I guess my backlog clears. Once that's finished, I'll probably upgrade, I guess. I don't know if it's an upgrade right now. Most people are saying it's not. Honestly, as much as people are complaining, it's not actually that big a deal that things are changing in Trunk. It's supposed to change, but I'm kind of bothered by the fact that a lot of the time people are complaining for kind of the wrong reasons, I guess, or not really the valid reasons. Like, people are saying the game's getting harder or more difficult. Okay, maybe I shouldn't get into this. I don't know. A lot of people are talking about Extended as if Extended has any balance whatsoever. Lack of arm mute is making my balance ridiculously bad. It's not really that bad. I probably overreacted when I started talking about it. Oh goodness. Let's just toss some rocks, I guess. Just keep tossing. Okay, this thing's regenerating like crazy. So I wasn't prepared to fight one of those sorry. Well, that's unfortunate for Rockworm. That's not a nice place for him to be. Let's get sticks to snakes. That'll probably help us out. Let's back off here. Get appendages. Hopefully kill this guy. Hopefully don't get lethally poisoned like I just did. Summon a snake. Try to beat this guy up before I get lethally poisoned. Good. Let's get Dex, why not? I'm probably either going to go Blade Hands or Dragon Form in this game. Ever since they made Dragon Form as a transmutation only spell rather than a transmutation fire spell, and only transmutations for... It used to be that it was a dual skill dual skill spell, but then if you're a Draconian it only costs transmutations. It's not the case anymore. It's now single skill for everyone, which is kind of weird because now there's no real reason to play Draconian. You want to play Draconian, just play Gargoyle. Gargoyle is pretty much better in every regard, because you can wear armor but you get AC as well. Breath Weapon doesn't really mean a lot, especially because of the RNG that's involved with it. You can either get a reasonable one, or you can get like a good one, I guess, but rarely will you get the good ones. There's only like one or two. Maybe like the fire one's pretty good. I think the fog one's alright. Let me think. People say that the electric one is alright. I think it's fine, but not that great. The breath weapon is not that great anyway. So yeah, it seems to be pretty mediocre, Draconians. So honestly, these days, Gargoyle's just better for most like combinations, I suppose. I don't know. Haven't really played Draconian in a while. Let's see, Spider Form's at 47%. I probably should train some more Int, but I need to level Int next, just to get that spell fail down. Someone asked me a while ago why I don't train transmutations in the early game to get Spider Form and stuff. Ooh, Aquara, let's go then. Yeah, sure. And the reason why is because it's just not worth it, really. Getting spells and fighting at the same time. Spells and melee at the same time is just difficult and honestly not worth it. You're better off, 90% of the time, you're better off just training melee skills. The reason why is because, obviously, you'll get better, I guess, focused damage, which is important. With transmutations, you tend to kind of side grade yourself. In some situations, I guess. Like, for example, the Spider Form is good because it gives you poison stacking, but I think it lowers your health as well. And if I weren't playing a Draconian, it would also lower my base AC. It would also lower my AC because it melds my armor in. It gives me more evade, yes, but it still makes me technically more squishy, which is kind of an issue. So it's not really that big of a deal for me. Wow, this guy is really good at throwing his sling. Jeez. Alright, well, that's fine. Let's just walk backwards a little bit until I get to full health. I guess I can start getting a couple of snakes in me. Yep, that kills them pretty easily. I got a pretty lucky start. I have 86 arrows, which means that I really don't have to focus too hard. I can just spam sticks to snakes a lot, which is good. I have a lot of rocks in my inventory. I don't really know why. Rarely do we know why. We have 350 rocks in our inventory. Or in this case, 246. This goblin is far too close to my liking. I'm going to go down a different staircase. Obviously, he can't throw stuff at me, or else he probably would have. This is a somewhat dangerous situation, so I'm going to go ahead and throw my net at the ant. I probably could have sticks to snakes as well, but I made the mistake of just approaching it in melee before doing anything, which is kind of stupid by me, but you gotta forgive me. I tried to fix my sleep pattern today. It didn't work at all. So normally I sleep at like 3 or 4, and I wake up at like 1 p.m. Because, you know, holidays and stuff. But I tried to sleep at like 10:30 yesterday. Woke up at 2, didn't go back to sleep. It was a tough ride. So, you know, it's like 9 a.m. now, so I've been up for 7 hours. I've got to be up for like another 20. So, it's not going to be fun. I will probably be recording from at least a good third of it, I guess, which is hopefully it doesn't make me just zone out really bad and die, but you know, there's always that risk. Spider Form's still at 43%, which is not great, but we still want unarmed combat to be higher. I'm not going to stop training it until I'm not going to stop focusing it until it reaches about maybe about 10 or something like that. It does mean yes, I will have a riskier game, but at the same time, it will probably be better for me in the medium run. When my oh, there we go, +3 int on the ring makes my spider form down to 33%, 34%, sorry, which is perfectly castable. Happy to just spam that now, even if it is high fail rate. Though of course I need to find something that's actually dangerous. Snakes at this point are not too bad. Let's go downstairs, turn into a spider to beat this worm up. Just stacks poison on it. Basically all it does is it changes my dagger. If you imagine there to be a dagger in my hand, now there's just a poison dagger in my hand, which is reasonable. But these sticks to snakes is just as good, really, and doesn't come with the downside of having lower health. But actually, does it lower my health? Maybe it doesn't. Let me check. Oh, it doesn't lower my health. Never mind. I think it does just lower my AC though. I lose 5 AC from going into spider form. That's probably why. Oh goodness, this is really bad. Alright, so I am Steam. That's pretty good. You could argue that it's top tier. Steam is good damage in the early game, and it's good utility in the late game, which is actually really good. So yeah, I probably am. Oh good. Okay, I'm marked. I need to blast away at that guy, that centaur before it kills me. I'm gonna run backwards up here. Oh, there's a lot of guys following me. I'm gonna toss some steam, hopefully deal some damage over time to some enemies. That'd be good. I'm no longer marked, so I'm okay with just kind of taking combat in this corridor here. But I probably should have heroismed, but I'm not really thinking too straight. I'll heroism now. I mean, will I? Why is heroism on B? That doesn't make any sense. What the hell? Hang on. A, B, A. That was weird. I don't know why heroism was on B. It should never be on B. Yeah, it shouldn't be on B. Interesting. Let's heroism again. Prince Ribbit's pretty tough as an enemy, so should try to buff myself. With this I have like 15 unarmed combat, which is insane. We can turn down unarmed combat a little bit, and we'll start training fighting. And I guess we'll put a little bit into transmutations, but let it be known now that let it be said that I'm not really paying attention too much to it. It's not as important to me as fighting, and I probably should get dodging too. I don't know. I'll think about it. I probably should make my decision before I start gaining more EXP and putting more points into transmutations, but meh. I want to get eventually Ice Form online and maybe Blade Hands. Blade Hands is less important to me right now, because it is more of a mid to late game thing. This is really annoying, having this happen. Yeah, this is just freaking annoying. Let's throw some more steam his way and run away. Hopefully I don't die. Good. That was pretty lucky by me to not get killed by the centaur. That was kind of tough to deal with. Thankfully my steam breath saved me. It acted as a pseudo fog, which basically stopped the line of sight. Stopped him from pelting me at range, which is really important. So I guess you could say that sticks to snakes. Sorry. Okay, do I want strength or dex? Dex is fine, I guess. Yeah, you could say that fog is pretty much top tier, because in that case it directly saved me. Though you could argue that the fire and the mephitic would both do somewhat the same thing. I've got a hat and a pair of gloves on. Let's enchant the gloves, just because I need more AC, and honestly I'm not going to be using, like, if you look at the things that I can wield, I can't wield any body armor, and that is a huge dump for enchant armor scrolls. Usually you always are enchanting your thing to max, so not having that responsibility is pretty lightening on your load for enchant armor. What's this? It's a cursed dagger of the crypt, pierce dex, so very useless. Let's read this. Why not? Let's read some scrolls. We want to recharge the cold wand for sure, because it's pretty good. I have like a million rocks in my inventory, but I'm not going to drop them for now, because unless they're, I need a slot, I don't really need to drop it. Ruined Robe, can't use it, I just realized. That's sad. Passage of Equilibria is a good pickup, but I can't train it just yet. I've got other stuff to train. I probably should be training dodging as well, while I'm at it. Big Kobold, he's dead. That's an Orc Warrior, which could be kind of tough. He's wielding a Mace of Protection, so it's going to be a hard fight for me regardless. Let's Heroism. I still end up taking a third of my health, which is pretty tough. I could have probably Spider Formed and killed him, but I don't really treat transmutations as a respectable way to deal damage. At least not in the early game, just because it's not really that consistent. I should be using Appendage more, but meh. Like I said, if you play as a monk, it actually just works out exactly the same. Casting spells as an early game dude is really just tedious and kind of annoying. Though, I guess, like, obviously you should be doing it if you have the access to it, but it doesn't actually affect your win rate or survivability that much. In some cases, it actually hurts more than it helps, because you're taking a turn to be paralyzed, I suppose. Let's see. How long are we playing? 14 minutes. That's not bad. Okay, so there's a centaur. Let's try to sneak up on him. If that doesn't work, steam him, and he gets destroyed. Yeah, like I said, steam is pretty good damage for the early game, because steam clouds actually deal damage if you stand inside them. But because you're a steam dragon, you aren't actually affected by your own steam, or by any steam really. +1 ring of slaying. That's pretty good. Not really, but it'll do. It's better than protection from magic in a lot of cases. Mostly because against most enemies, protection from magic is useless. Let's shoot this guy. That's actually pretty decent damage coming from that. Let's pick up this dagger venom. Coming from the breath weapon. I wasn't expecting quite as much as I did. Quite as much damage as I was putting out. Let's switch to the spider and just start eating and killing. There's an adder. Let's turn to a spider again. I think I actually have Arpoise minus on a spider in spider form, which is pretty bad. But you can't do everything. Can't do much about it. I don't really have any way to get Arpoise easily. So, well, realistically, I need 2 pips of Arpoise to get rid of the Arpoise minus, which is never worth it. So, you know, the spider form is just straight up bad in some situations. Ice form and blade hands are both at 75%. I probably will keep training transmutations now, just to get them both up, or at least one of them up. I want to get them up by Lair. I know I am Arpoise minus, but this gives me more evade, which is probably, not only does this give me evade, but it also gives me poison, which is important, because these guys are also vulnerable to poison, so it's pretty good. I probably would have died in this scenario had the whole bee thing being patched out, but I don't want to think about it because it's too hard. Even though they actually removed a feature from the game, so by accident, of course. And by that I mean the Berserking Beast thing, which I feel like I've mentioned like 4 times in the last week, mostly because it just happens so often, and for some reason I can't forget the fact that bees no longer berserk. Hopefully when I play Trunk that gets fixed. So, let's shoot through the mushrooms and stuff to kill the bee. I'd say the bee is probably the most dangerous threat out of these guys. Ice Beast is close second. Alright, so we didn't get any random BS. We didn't get any random BS lair entrances this time, like the elephant one and the Death Yak one. Well, I think both of them are the same actually, so yeah, that one sucks. I hate that one. Because on D8 you're not really expect. Whoa, I have a really high turn count. I wonder why. Must be resting a lot. Oh well. 17 minutes, that's still pretty short. We can probably go a little bit longer. Maybe about halfway through there, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty tired right now, so most responses are being just stock standard, I guess. It's mostly because I was actually going to record like really early, like 2 or 3 in the morning, but sorry, 4 or 5 in the morning. 2 or 3 is when I woke up. Uh, but I didn't really want to make too much noise that late at night. No, early in the morning. So I just didn't. I probably should have because I was more energetic back then. I was trying to go to sleep, but I just couldn't. I teleported because I read a scroll. I didn't expect the one scroll, unknown scroll, to be the teleport. It kind of sucks because it means I don't have much teleport left, but let's just read the other scrolls. Why not? I'm still silenced. Fear. Okay, that's fine. I do want to eventually ID my Wand of Cold, just because it's a good thing to ID. This is probably a good spot for Spider Form. Even though they did nerf it so I don't have the extra speed, I can still use it for the evade and poison stacking. I can also kind of just, do that. +0 shield of protection, that's pretty good. I can't use it right now, but it is a definite thought. Though, having said that, it probably doesn't matter because I will be switching to stuff that probably will meld my shield in anyway. So it's kind of half-off if I do want to use it or not. Blade Hand's at 38%. That's pretty reasonable. With a bit more training, I guess I can get it fully castable by about layer 3, I'd say. The only problem is it makes you into a troll basically, and that means that I'm gonna have to be careful about dealing with hydras. Ice Form is, while reasonable, not the best thing to use on hydras because you're just squishier. Just because you have no AC, like in Spider Form, which is really bad for hydras. Hydras tend to be countered pretty hard by armor dudes, really heavy armor, and a nice big crushing weapon. Or at least not, or a piercing one, I guess. As long as it's not bladed, it's all good. Alright. Spiny Toad. This is probably going to be... Oh, okay. Well, Spiny Toad again shows its ridiculous variance. Managed to fight one without taking any damage, even though I'm not up poised. So it's kind of like that kind of gives you an idea of how varied the Spiny Toad is. In other fights, it would easily kill me in 2 hits. I'm not really sure why the damage is so high, but it is. So that's a Hydra. Let's see if we can just kill it through kiting. Hopefully we can. Looks like we're gonna have to use some charges of wands, but it shouldn't be too bad. Managed to finish it off with my melee, which is alright. My melee is pretty respectable right now. I shouldn't just look down on it, I guess. But at the same time, I don't want to be in range of a Hydra with like 9 AC. That's it's not too bad actually. It's just you get the fear drilled into you. Oh look, another hilariously varied enemy. I can beat it to death with my paralyze though. Apparently black mambas are honored. Are really respected by Aquara, which is nice. So I got some big piety for a relatively not trivial enemy, but a not as dangerous enemy. One that you would expect to see on a common basis, regular basis. There's a volcano here. That's kind of good. Protection from fire from the ring. For some reason I had an inkling that was protection from fire, so I decided to try it out. This is a really bad one for me, I think. Let's turn to a... No, we shouldn't do that. Let's use Blade Hands, I guess. I don't know. Blade Hands doesn't really cut my my defense down because I don't have a shield, but it does make me kind of scared because I can't use wands in this form. I can only read scrolls and drink potions, which I guess is fine, but just worried about Blade Hands because I have died many times just because Blade Hands just killed me. When I mean killed me, I mean like prevented me from using the critical thing that I needed to survive. I got contaminated. I got less energy and MP and weak. That's kind of fine. I don't really care too much about stat loss, at least permanent ones. But I will probably cure mutation if I have the chance. Here's some cool loot, I guess, but I can't really use any of it because, yay, I'm a Draconian. There's a fire resist shield. That's pretty reasonable. Nothing else though. Can't use any of those armors, and those weapons don't mean anything to me. Scroll of blinking. Boo. For now though, let's just check what. It's +1. That's pretty good, but we'll take it off because honestly, the protection's probably better for this character. Let's put the Ring of Slaying back on because +1 Slaying is great. Sarcastic. Yay. No, Ring of Slaying is it's still good. It's better than nothing, but +1 is very mediocre. 521 stones. We've thrown probably like 3 at this point, maybe 4. I remember that worm at some point we threw some rocks at. That's pretty much the only enemy we threw rocks at. Staff is in the top right. It's actually reasonable to consider because melding stuff, because transmutation melds your hands usually. You can get away with using a staff like energy or power or something, and just using it to kind of get a bonus effect for no reason. Oh, for no real cost, I guess. Aquara gives me the Boots of the Assassin. That is a nice pickup. Thanks, Aquara. That's actually really good. Does mean that I could potentially go into stealth and just start stabbing with my fists, but something about that just makes me not want to do that. Armed combat's good still, fighting's good still. Alright, great. Just gonna go ahead and beat up this floor, and I'll probably stop there. Because it's... do we want strength or do we want dex? Probably dex. Let's do blade hands this game, not dragon form. Just because I already know I have blade hands on me, so you know it's probably easier to just think. I don't have to think too hard about it. Don't have to look for dragon form. Staff of Wizardry. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. You can just use this Staff of Wizardry, and now blade hands is suddenly castable, and so is ice form. So you know, pretty useful. Ozakuo's armor is also almost usable. Let's see, ice form. Yeah, so this is why I didn't want to do that to the Hydra. Let's quaff haste. Let's run away, I guess. I can't toss. This is bad. I can't use wands, which sucks. I'll just probably kill a couple of these sheep, sorry. And then I'll run upstairs like a coward. I think they changed the scaling, the texture of that. Did I go downstairs accidentally? Whoops. Oh, okay. I was not paying attention. Let's put this on B, so at least I can hot swap to it. If I need to fight things in unarmed, I will. Let's get rid of some of these ridiculous number of arrows and stones. We can also get rid of the Wand of Random Effects, I guess, and Frost. At some point, I must have ID'd the Wand of Frost. I don't remember doing that at all, but I did, so might as well keep it, right? There's the Hydra. Let's throw some fire at it and toss some fog. And we need to throw some fire. Cold. Yep. I was mesmerized by that stupid mermaid, so I couldn't run away from the Hydra. Which led to me wasting a couple of charges, but it's fine. Let's use blade hands here. Okay. Apparently orange rats are really dangerous, but managed to handle it, I suppose. Spell's very dangerous to cast. Oh right, because I don't have the wizardry on. Forgot about that. Yeah, so, and also blade hand. One thing that I didn't mention about blade hands is that it also makes your spells harder to cast, which kind of sucks. Let's actually put this. Let's inscribe this with Shift exclamation mark A, which will. Oh, fake. Well, I guess that's the thing. So Shift A, what it does is it prompts you whenever you want to try to attack with it, with the weapon. So it's pretty useful for staves that you don't want to attack with. let's use heroism and ice form, and let's hopefully beat this guy up before he kills us in one hit. Right. This is not a. This is an actually awful thing for me to find Fire Drake when I'm in ice form. It has the potential to probably two-shot me, not one-shot me, I'd say, but I'd be very close. So now I basically need to remember to keep casting blade hands rather than fighting with my bare hands, which is fine, I guess. At the same time. Yeah, I guess that's about it, really, for this episode. Sorry again for the low energy. I'm just tired as hell. Kind of did this to kill a bit of time because I have to wait for something to happen in a couple of minutes, I suppose. Not really minutes, maybe about half an hour. But yeah, it's just been waiting pretty much, and I recorded for that reason. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. This has been pretty fun. I'm surprised that I got the Draconian Transmuter to get off the ground that quickly, or that consistently. I was expecting to die a couple of times, but it worked out. So yeah, see you guys.